Let's see some basic points about the Coulomb's theory. So when we saw the Rankine's theory, so there was this basic assumption that the whole soil mass was in plastic equilibrium. But the way I explained, so I explained it like this. So I told that a slip surface develops and the shear resistance will be there because of the shear strength, and this mass tries to move away. So this is how Coulomb's theory is derived. In this case, a wedge shaped surface is considered. So this is the wedge shaped surface and it passes through this toe of the wall. So it will be something like this, and a planar surface is considered. So this surface is planar, and so this wedge is considered instead of the whole plastic equilibrium in the soil. So this is the basic difference between the Coulomb's theory and Rankine's theory. There are several other assumptions also, so we'll see that. Backfill is dry, cohesionless, homogeneous and isotropic. So this is the similar one as the Rankine's theory. So it is also first developed for the cohesionless soil, and then it was taken to the, it was also considered for the cohesive soil. The backfill surface can be planar or inclined. So this backfill surface, if this is the wall, so this can be like this also, or this can be inclined. We can consider any of that. Friction is considered between wall and the soil material. So this wall and soil, there will be some friction, so that is considered in this theory. The sliding wedge is considered as a rigid body, so there will be this sliding wedge. So this is considered as a rigid body, not in the plastic state. No plastic state. The position and line of action of earth's pressure will be known in advance. So it is assumed that the earth's pressure acts at h by 3 from base, and we'll know this angle of friction between wall and the soil. So using that, the location of earth pressure is also known. So this is, I have tried to show here. This is the wall and this is the inclined backfill making angle beta. So W is the weight of this soil wedge. So this is the soil wedge which will fall if we are talking about the active state, or it will go up in this direction if we are talking about the passive state. So here we take three forces in equilibrium, that is weight of the soil mass in the wedge and the reaction R that will be there due to the angle of friction. So soil will be resisting its movement downward, and if we are talking about the active state, so due to this angle of friction, the R is acting at an angle phi from the normal. So this is the normal and the reaction is acting at an angle phi from here. So we know this direction of R, and we know the direction and magnitude of this weight, and this P force, this third force P, this will be our earth's pressure. So this, what is this? It is a reaction between wall material and soil. So this reaction has developed due to here this soil is trying to go downwards and the wall friction is opposing that movement. So due to that, this is the resultant reaction. It is making an angle of delta from the normal of the wall. So these three forces are considered in the equilibrium. So this is a force triangle which will be made. Here we know the value of W and we know the direction obviously, and we know the direction of R because we know the angle of friction, and we know the direction of and location of P because we know delta, and we know that this P will be acting at h by 3 from the base. So using this force triangle, this part will give us the value of earth's pressure. So using this we get to know the earth's pressure. So there will be many trial wedges. The trial wedges are considered in this case, and we put these three forces in equilibrium and we try to find out the earth's pressure. So active earth pressure is the maximum pressure that will be applied on the wall before the wedge moves downward and outward also. So here this wedge is trying to move downward and outward. So the maximum force that will be applied on this wall due to the soil mass will give us the active earth pressure, whereas passive earth pressure will be the minimum force. So the minimum force due to which the soil mass or the soil wedge will move upward and inside, we can say, because in case of passive earth pressure it will go like this, so this soil wedge will move upward and inward. So this is the case. And one more thing is there, if we compact the soil, so what will be the effect on active earth pressure and what will be the effect on passive earth pressure? If we compact the soil, then active earth pressure decreases, whereas passive earth pressure will increase. So we can imagine this, because we have compacted it, so the soil grains will come closer and there will be less tendency to move away. So active earth pressure, that is the pressure applied on the wall, will decrease, whereas because these are compacted, now if we are pushing this soil inside, so they will put more resistance, so more force is required for the wall movement. So we can say the passive earth pressure increases.